Hello, and welcome to my channel. What's with the color there? Wow, look what happens when I move my hands away and then I put them back, the background. Anyway, I should keep my hands here. Hello, and welcome to my channel. This is Elise here of Plan with Elise, and today we are going to talk about goals. I am using these Moxie Life companion notebooks. These come in a set of 4. These are quarterly notebooks, and I started using them in July, and I really feel that this is the best system right now for me with goal setting because these notebooks have room for monthly goals, monthly goals, and weekly actions and a little bit of note pages for reflections, and that's it. What I was finding with my Moxie Life horizontal, because I use so many planners, was that I was having trouble filling in the weeks because they had so much room for planning, and I just didn't really need it because I have other planners. So this is, for me, a really good system. It's so small, it's so compact. I can have it like with my other planners on my desk. I've even had it at the side of my computer, and it's just not taking up space, and I really like that. So we are going to talk very bluntly about how my goals went this month. If you had asked me a week into July how my goals were going, I was like, I'm kicking butt. I am staying on top of it. Everything is great. And then as July has finished, I'm feeling not great about my goals. But then I looked at this and I was like, I actually did better than I think. So let's talk about this. And then we're also going to talk about the weekly pages and my reflections. So I feel like I did as good as I possibly could have with resetting routines. Part of where July fell off for me is that I've been away every weekend of July. Some of those, 3 of those weekends have been leaving Thursday to go down the shore, and one of those weekends was leaving a Friday and coming back Monday for Montreal. And so I really feel like I've been living July Monday through Thursday. And having 4 out of 7 days in the week to accomplish everything I want to really hasn't been easy. And that's where things are going to change a little bit going into August. So anyway, with my routines, I did as best as I could have with the little time I had to have routines and establish them. I did have a lot of fun this summer. We spent a lot of weekends down the shore, and I went away from Montreal. For Plan with Elise, this is my work and learning category. I do think that I was mindful of balance with some decisions that I've made going into August, but I did not do a blog post. I did have 2 friend plans, and I only had 1 family plan. I don't even remember what it was, but I did. I'm trying to I think I was counting this for my nephew's birthday party, which was really just a family day. So I think that's probably, I mean, I did see my family because I went to a couple of my nephew and niece's sports games, but that was it. We're gonna go down from the bottom. So I did declutter my seasonal stickers. Those went to Patreon members. I got through half of my bedroom dresser. I did not continue, and I did not even touch my closet. So this is something that's going to come into play again in August. A lot of why this didn't happen was because I wasn't home as much, and the time that I was home, I wasn't spending doing this, obviously. Where I sometimes struggle with things in my bedroom that I set up as a goal is because I'm not in my room a lot. I go into my room at night to go to sleep, and then my alarm goes off and I leave my bedroom. And so it's like trying to be mindful of going into my room at some point in the day to do these things. It just doesn't come naturally to me, and it's something that I need to be more intentional about for my word of the year. I did great with my financial goals. I met with my accountant. I completed a no spend on clothing, except for a t-shirt that I bought in Montreal, which is a souvenir. I don't really think it counts. And I did map out my extra mortgage payment goal. I need to put $685.20 per month towards my mortgage to complete 2 extra mortgage payments this year. I want to talk for a second about the no spend on clothing. Anytime you're trying to make a change, even if it's a temporary change with your budget, doing a no spend on one category is something that I really recommend because I had to be very mindful of it. if this category were no spend on Starbucks, that's not even something I would think about. I can't even tell you the last time I went to Starbucks. It's been several months because that's just not something that I spend money on very often. But with clothing, clothing is one of those things that when seasons change, I enjoy buying new clothes. I've put on weight recently, and so most of my current summer clothes do not fit. I spent a lot of money in June like getting clothes, new bathing suits, a bunch of things so that I could be somewhat comfortable this summer. But I really had to be mindful every time I had that like impulse trigger desire, usually on Amazon, to buy clothes, and I did not do it. So I'm really proud of myself for completing that no spend because it doesn't come easy to me. In spiritual and personal growth, I read 4 books. I read more than 4 books. I think I read 5 or 6, but I just stopped tracking them once I finished the 4 because my goal was 1 book a week. I will say I haven't read in probably a week or so. Most of these were finished in the first couple of weeks of the month. I want to get to exercise. So my goal was 10 workouts. I accomplished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got really, really close. Most of those were done in the first 2 weeks of the month. I hurt my back in Montreal, and so when I came back, I couldn't, and I came back on July 15th. I couldn't work out. And then I'm trying to think of the timeline. So I came back, I was home for 3 days, and then I went back down the shore, and I came home and I just felt burnt out. I felt burnt out from all the goals, from everything to check off my list, and I just couldn't get myself back on the bike. The other goal I had was 25 miles. This looks a little ridiculous. So this is 20 miles down here because I decided to include the amount of walking that I did in Montreal because we went on a ton of walking tours as some exercise because I really did a lot. The Peloton miles, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 out of 25. So I really didn't do great with that goal. I think that overall, I just felt burnt out in July. And I felt burnt out, not with Plan with Elise, because I was good about balance, but I felt burnt out with trying to enjoy summer while also wanting to be productive, while also wanting to be a good sister and a good aunt and a good girlfriend and a good friend to my friends and a good friend to myself. And so I just kind of became paralyzed when it came to my goals and what I was just kind of like, nope, I'm done. And I didn't really touch anything for the last 2 weeks. So while at a glance, this looks like I did great overall at my goals, knowing that these really only happen in the first 2 weeks of the month, I feel a little blah about. So we have my weekly actions. So we can see how I set this up for the first week of July and then the second week of July. And then I stopped using this, and I stopped using it intentionally because when I was only home for 3 or 4 days before going back down the shore, I felt like it would be really stressful for me to try to set weekly actions only for a couple of days while knowing that I still had to work a full-time job. Another thing to mention is that for the last week and a half of July, my boss has been away. And so that adds a lot more to my plate with work because I'm like second in command in the company. And so the just extra stressors that I've had and the more downtime I've needed have all kind of contributed to needing a little bit of like time off from my goals in July. So let's do a little bit of monthly reflection here. My biggest wins this month were, let's go back to my July goals. I'd say that my biggest wins this month were reaching my financial, that's not spelled right. I also like that this planner doesn't have to be something so pretty and decorative. Reaching my financial goals. Things that are currently working in my life. I just say my system and routines. When I'm home, my routine works really well because I'm very focused. If anyone has been watching the Olympics, I was watching an interview with Steven, I'm not sure what his last name is, but he is the one guy on the US men's gymnastics team that is only there to do it's not the pole vault. What am I thinking? I can't remember what it is, but he's the specialist. He was like only there for that one event. And they interviewed him and oh wait, maybe it wasn't him. No, it was a swimmer. That's not the gymnast. Oh my goodness, my brain is not working. It was a swimmer who was only, we're going to back up. Let's rewind. There is a swimmer on the men's Olympic team who is older for swimmers. He's like in his early 30s. And they did an interview with him. He actually lives not far from me. He lives in New Jersey and he works full time and he's a husband and I think his wife is pregnant with their first. But he was showing his day and he was showing how like he wakes up in the morning and he has this amount of time for breakfast and then he gets on his computer to do meetings and then he goes to do a swim and then he comes back and does meetings and then he does an afternoon workout. And while I am in no way comparing myself to an Olympian, that sounds ridiculous. When I was watching it, I said to James, my boyfriend, I was like, I relate to that. I relate to everything being so like scheduled out and regimented because that's the only way you can get things done. The less time I have in the day, the more I get done because I don't have time to like dilly-dally and procrastinate. I just have to do it. So that's what I meant about things that are working in my life. Things that are currently not working in my life. The motivation or lack of motivation to focus on things I need to do but don't enjoy. You'll see that the most success I have with my goals are things that I like to do. I like filming videos. I like reading. I like tracking my spending. I like seeing friends and family. I don't like working out. I also didn't do great with healthy weekdays, by the way. I don't like going through my clothes. I don't really like decluttering stuff. It feels good once it's done, but it's just like not the process is not something I enjoy. What I learned this month when I set too many goals, I'm setting myself up again. I didn't mean to write again there. I'm setting myself up for burnout, which is something that I have to be really mindful of. What improvements or adjustments do I need to make going into next month? Less. What am I most grateful for right now? I'm having an amazing summer. For someone who lives for summer, I am really, really happy with how this summer is going. Habits that I want to nurture next month. Exercise. And after work routine. My nighttime routine is pretty good. My right after work routine isn't. If I don't have anything to do after work, like that has to get done or that I have to go out, I end up just like sitting on my couch for a while and kind of decompressing, which isn't bad, but I kind of want to give myself a list. Like today after work, I know that I need to clean. And now that I know that, it's what I'll do. But I feel like I work so hard throughout the day at getting my to-do list finished that sometimes by work finishing, I'm just exhausted. So I just wanted like a regular after work routine. An area that I want to focus on next month. I'm going to write plan with Elise. My overall satisfaction for this month. I'm going to give this month a 6. This is not my overall happiness with the month. The month was amazing. I celebrated my birthday in Montreal. I went down the shore, my favorite place, for multiple weekends. I'm celebrating 6 months in the best relationship I've ever been in. I had really, really good things happening this month. This was more of just an overall satisfaction for my goals. Okay, I'm not really using this monthly, so we're just going to go past that, and we are going to talk about some August goals. I know that this is like a very chatty video, but I feel like it's the best way for me to kind of explain where I'm coming from with these goals and kind of just like what's going on. Okay, so we are ready to talk about August goals. Where did my pen go? Right here. We are going light for August. There are going to be certain areas that I'm going to heavily focus on and other areas that I'm going to be really minimal on. So the first two, these are Moxie dot markers, and I love these. The areas that I'm going to focus on the most are going to be the areas that I've struggled with the most in previous months. So I'm going to put everything else away and focus entirely on these three for now. So health and wellness. My focus is going to be a healthier lifestyle. Now, I already know, let's talk for a second about the month. I know that this is undated, but I think that to make this easy for myself right now for conversational purposes, I'm just going to date the Thursdays because that's when the month starts. 15th, 22nd, and 29th. Okay, and then this is Labor Day weekend. Yeah, this is Labor Day weekend. So I will be down the shore most likely this weekend, and this weekend. The first 2 weekends of the month, I'll be home. So those are both full weeks that I have. And I say full weeks because I'm not leaving Thursday after work to go down the shore and only have a few days. So I want to set a number goal with weight loss. And I'm always really iffy about talking about weight on social media, but I have put on a decent amount of weight, and part of it is relationship weight, and part of it is not eating great this summer, and part of it is also a medicine change that I've had. And so I think that rather than just say eat healthier and work out, I really need to set a numbers goal for myself just to give me that, like, just to kind of propel me into the habits that I'm looking to have be more a part of my life. So I'm going to set a goal of lose 5 pounds. It's been a long time since I've set some sort of weight loss goal, but I want to see how it goes. And then we are going to set a goal of, let's count again, 31 minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 31 minus 11. So I should be home for a maximum 20 days this month. So we're going to do 10 workouts. And we are also going to set a goal, even though I didn't reach this last month, of 25 miles ridden on my Peloton, we're going to set a goal of 30 miles. Now, let's go to physical environment. So my focus is going to be bedroom, and office. We need to finish my dresser decluttering. We need to do a closet declutter. And then trying to figure out how to do this. In my head, where my office declutter is, I want to prep for September. And when I say prep for September, September tends to be the biggest planner launch season. And that's when I have a lot of products coming in. I already have a ton of product coming in for August, and I want to make sure that my office is in a really good place for that. So I'm going to write clear out visible spaces. And I'll explain that one in a second. And I'm going to write new release, new release prep zone. So when I'm talking about clear out visible spaces, right now, if I look kind of behind me on my couch, I have 3 boxes of new product. I have a stack of planners that I'm not using in August, but will be using again in September. I have other product that hasn't released yet. The other area is a certain part of my bookshelf where I have product that's releasing this week. So typically what I would do is right now what I see over there is also previous release product like Kellival Plan Roy G. Biv, Volume 5. Typically I'd have that over there, and then after it releases, I move it and I put it in my regular sticker storage, not in like a new release section. And I need to just prep all of that for new releases. The new release prep zone is going to be different. I'm going to bring in a small bookshelf I have that I'm not using into my office. And when a new package comes, I'm going to put it on the bookshelf when it needs to be like filmed, photographed, all of that. I anticipate so much new stuff happening and coming in that I'm really going to need a good system. Otherwise, my entire office will be covered in planner product. It normally is anyway, but I need to be really organized with this. So that's my bedroom and my office. Financial focus is going to be savings and EOY prep end of year. We are going to do another no spend. This time, the no spend, I'm kind of going back and forth. I'm not really decided. I don't want to do close again, because I need to see where I'm at with stuff that fits me going into fall. So I don't know that I want to do a no spend on clothes. Part of me was thinking a no spend on Amazon. It's just like really hard because I like spending money on Amazon. So I don't know if I'm going to do that. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. It's supposed to be hard. It's just convenient. Like the last order I placed on Amazon was for dish soap, aluminum foil, and plastic wrap. And placing that order on Amazon prevented me from having to find time to go to the store to buy those items. I had already done my grocery shopping for the week in person and totally forgot that I needed those items. And so most of my Amazon spending, I will say, is just like convenience stuff that I need and not as much impulse buys, but maybe this will help. So we're going to do a no spend on Amazon. Then we are going to map out EOY savings goals. And I need to do some tax prep with my accountants. And then also, is that August? No, that's not August. Okay. Those are the areas that I've struggled the most in. Well, financial was my best one, but this is a really important one. All of these could kind of pause and I could not write anything here, but these are where the main things need to happen. I'm kind of tempted to not write any goals in the other areas. Here's why. I'm going to read. I don't know how many books I'm going to read, but I know I'm going to read. It would be nice if I could read 1 book per week, so maybe we'll go really light with that. And maybe I just write it here. 1 book per week. I'm afraid of filling in all of these to the point where I'm going to open this planner or companion notebook and look at everything besides what I want to look at. If I don't have anything to check off here, all I have to do, let's back up. If I don't have anything to check off here, when I open this, if I want to work on a goal, I have to do one of these things that I don't really want to do. So I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to leave these all blank or write something, but nothing actionable to check off. So family and relationships. I'm going to write be present. Kind of just like not an affirmation, but an overall goal or something that I'd like this month to look like. If I'm looking back on August, I would like to think that I was present with family and relationships. Work and learning. Prep for September. I've already said a million times that I'm doing less videos in August, which will give me more time to prep for September. Fun and recreation. I have a couple of plans this month. One is, I'm trying to remember. I'm going to a like minor league baseball game, celebrating birthdays. I will be going down the shore, but fun and recreation is just going to be savor the final month of summer. And then we are actually going to do one actionable goal for personal, and this is going to be after work routine, because that was something that I said I wanted to work on. Okay, I think we have it. Probably one of the most chatty videos I've done in a very long time. But talking about this is actually really helpful. If you are someone who is trying to think about your goals, even if you don't have a YouTube channel, just like sit and talk out loud to yourself or find a friend, an accountability partner, something, because talking through this made me realize so much more about my goals and where I'm at versus where I thought I was an hour ago. So this definitely helps. I will link these notebooks and the dot markers in the description of this video. Hopefully you enjoyed, and this gives you a little bit of inspiration for your goal setting and your planning. Wishing everyone a lovely August. Thanks so much for watching and for your support, and I will see you soon.